Guys, I just recorded an entire video for like 25 minutes and I wasn't recording. I probably had a whole lot more oomph the first time because I was on fire. But anyway, hello everyone. I'm Julie Harnish. Welcome back to my channel. I was going to make, this is take two. Sorry, I sound like, I can't believe I just did that. Anyway, I was going to make a video comparing VIPKid and Gogokid to one another because I am just about to sign my third contract with Gogokid and I just signed my sixth contract with VIPKid. And I wanted to give new teachers kind of a rundown of the pros and cons of each company, at least from my perspective. And then as I was making notes for this new video that I'm doing today, this week a bomb just because both companies released some announcements that they're big ones. So I think what I'm going to do, now that this is take two and I've already done it once, I'm going to give you my pros and cons for each company. But then stay tuned at the end of the video because I'm going to talk about these announcements and my perspective on them, which I will preface with saying that this is pure speculation and it's just my 2 cents, so I don't have any information anyone else does. I read the announcements just like you did. But I'll give you my thoughts on it, I guess, if you care. So let's do this first. I have some notes, so don't mind me if I'm looking. I just don't want to miss any of the points that I was going to bring up. I was going to compare the two companies for you. Essentially, just a quick download of pros and cons, and I realized the first time I was recording this a minute ago that it was mostly pros for VIPKid and mostly cons for Gogokid. I'm just being honest. Like, on my channel, as you know, like, I'm always going to be honest with you guys. If I go to any company, I am never going to be afraid ever again to speak out about what's going on after my Magic Years experience. I will be completely open because I don't ever want to lead anyone to a company that I myself am not happy with. With that being said, it's always a good idea to have a backup company, and so Gogokid is my backup company. So anyway, let's get to it. I'm going to tell you first and foremost, I've done several videos on why VIPKid's my favorite, but this is going to be specific things, specific reasons why VIPKid is maybe better than Gogokid specifically. I can do my feedback during class. I don't have to take notes anymore because you can actually pull it up right in the platform and I'm typing. They can't see me type. I keep eye contact with the camera, but I can type the words while I'm teaching them, and when class is done, feedback is done. That's amazing. That means I get my full 5 minutes to just, you know, all the things we can do in 5 minutes. Drink coffee, whatever. Go pee, do whatever you gotta do for 5 minutes. That 5 minutes sometimes matters a lot, especially when you're doing overnights and whatnot. I can change the student names in the portal, which is a big deal because for those of you who have been teaching online for any period of time, you know you have 900 Elsas, 450 Johns. You just can't ever remember which kid is which, and so this way you can give them a nickname. Like, I have a know-it-all Enzo, and I have my favorite Alice, and my trial convert Alice, and my 6-year-old Alice, and I know which ones are which by my little nicknames that I give them. VIPKid's portal also tells you how many times you've taught a student, which is not necessarily always accurate. However, it's still there. That way I know if they're new or not, because with Gogokid, I don't know that, ever. Like, I just have to pretend like I know them. I have to say, it's good to see you, instead of it's nice to meet you, because I don't know whether I've taught them or not. I don't teach there enough to remember them. Their app rocks at VIPKid. Gogokid is in the process of making an app. They don't have one yet, as far as I know. If they do, I have not downloaded it, but I don't stay on top of everything as much at Gogokid because it's my backup company again. WeChat is allowed at VIPKid or Weibo or whatever means of communication you want to use, so therefore I feel like I have way more in-depth relationships with my students. I actually talk to their parents. I see their, like, one little girl, I just got a video from her. She was the lead singer in her school play, and she has an amazing voice. I had no idea. Her mom sent me a little video. That kind of stuff is awesome. It builds a relationship. It helps with the cultural exchange. I love it. I can send my kids little gifts if I want to. I don't do that so much anymore, but when I first started, I did. Because I can get their address from them, and I've had kids send me stuff that's phenomenal. Just things like that. I like having that option. At Gogokid, you are not allowed to have contact with any of your students outside of class, so I know nothing about them. At VIPKid, they will overturn your bad ratings. Now, it will stay on your profile, but it will say on there that this rating was determined to not be accurate or something like that. At Gogokid, they won't do that. Short notice pay. Both companies offer short notice classes, but VIPKid pays $2 per class, which is $4 extra per hour for those short notice slots, whereas Gogokid does not. Let's see. VIPKid does have a system in which you can attain a raise each year of 50 cents per class. Sorry, my nose is running. I should have grabbed some Kleenexes. Anyway, the requirements are very strict. A lot of people find them unattainable, but it's still there. They still have a way to get a raise. Gogokid says they're working on a way to get a raise, but they don't have one as of yet. With that being said, that's going to be one of the things that we talk about in these announcements at the end, so stay tuned. Right now, the raise requirements are like 1,200 classes per year. 600 of them need to be PPT classes. Keep in mind your first year, it's actually based on 11 months, okay? So you don't have that full year to get these. And then, of course, your cancellation rate and your parent feedback are all players, too. They're factors. Another pro is that there's no quiz when you re-sign your contract at VIPKid. That quiz could just be the death of me sometimes at Gogokid. Anyway, let's talk about Gogokid. I thought I was giving like pros of each company, but then as I was writing these down and as I was spewing it out the first time, I realized that they're mostly pros of VIPKid and cons of Gogokid. So it is what it is. But this is, again, my perspective, maybe different than someone else's. But at Gogokid, oftentimes I notice the kids are in very wrong levels. That is extremely frustrating. You ever try to teach a level 4 student who is really speaking at a level 2, what word am I looking for? I don't even know. I already did this once. I'm going to be doing it again, and I'm tired, and I'm getting sick, and anyway. And I have to stay up all night to pull an all-nighter tonight and tomorrow night. I'm beat, guys. I'm beat. Anyways, it's tough to teach a kid in a wrong level, and then that also affects your parent feedback because sometimes mom and dad get pissed that you're saying that Bao Bao didn't do so hot in class. But I'm always honest in my feedback. I'm always respectful, but I'm always honest. So I figure they're trying to learn English. They probably need to know if they're in a wrong level or something, so I do say that. Gogokid announced not too long ago that they have a new requirement now that if a student is late, teacher now has to stay until 28 minutes to make up for it. How is it my fault if your kid's late? I'm sorry, I get 5 minutes between classes. Why do I have to stay late if you can't show up on time? That's not my problem. I'm not being paid for those extra 3 minutes. So actually, I mean, you can see by my demeanor that I'm not happy about that. And quite frankly, I don't do it. I just hurry and make sure to finish the slides. But I don't know. I'm not encouraging anyone else to do that. But that is their policy now. So that, sorry, that irks me. I don't know why, for the life of me, it takes them 5 days to update the pay, but it does, and so that irks me. The one pro that Gogokid had going for them was that most people started out at a significantly higher base pay. But I'm not even going to elaborate on that now because with the recent announcement, that is going to change. So I will talk about that more in detail in the end, but this was the one thing they had going because I started out at VIPKid at a $750 base. I was a new teacher, didn't know what I was doing, yada, 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 and now I'm working my butt off each year to get that higher base pay. So far I've only gotten one raise out of the 2 I could have gotten because one year I wasted on Team Purple. So Anyways, yeah, we'll talk about that more later. My base pay at Gogokid is $9.50, which is great, but yeah, to be continued on that conversation. Now, also along with that, this is something else that changed with the announcement this week, but the credit score system was a huge downfall for Gogokid. Everybody hated it because the credit score system determined your base pay for the following month, and it was based on the last day of the month. So, like, my credit score has always been 120. So when I finish the month with 120 at a 950 base pay, I believe, don't quote me, I think it's 1188 or something like that. It's just shy of $12 per class. So it's significantly more than VIPKid unless I'm doing short notice, right? So that was great and all if you can maintain that credit score. But the flip side is if you could not, if you were late or you were sick or something happened, then your credit score is not 120. The entire next month you pay for it. So teachers have always hated that. Now they're changing it. We'll talk about that in a minute. They do have now it's sort of similar to the soft medium cancellation thing at VIPKid. Both companies offer a way to redeem yourself if you do cancel, if you have a doctor's note. If you have the correct documentation, then they will overturn the cancellation. So Gogokid offers that as well. They have a while back, again, I apologize for my lack of exact detailing on all of this stuff because I feel like it doesn't apply to me as much because I teach there so little, but they seem to be micromanaging more by the day. I don't know if it's because Frank's there now. I'm totally joking, by the way. There's no way he has that much pull at the company, but side note, my best friend from Magic Years now works at Gogokid, so that's fun. But anyways, no, the micromanaging just seems to be getting kind of crazy, so from what I understand, and I don't fully understand it because it hasn't applied to me yet, knock on wood, but there's color pools, and if you get in the wrong color pool, then they're basically watching you, and they keep an eye on you, and they'll send out emails saying, you did this good, you did this bad. It reminds me of, the old team I was on at Magic Years that told people how they taught was good and how they taught was bad and, what they needed to change and what they needed to do to be exactly what the company wanted them to be. But either way, I haven't gotten one of those emails yet, knock on wood, like I said, but that just seems a real micromanaging to me for an independent contracting gig. What else? Gogokid does not offer raises. Sorry, I told you I'm looking at my notes. I didn't want to forget anything. They do tend to have better monetary incentives, but with that being said, if you compare this Christmas to last Christmas, it's nothing. But it's still better than the $5 VIPKid is offering for opening a slot on Christmas. So they've got that going for them. Both companies have stickers, sort of like a minicam type thing, and colored pens now, so that's fun in the platform. The K-Baby classes. So I talked about how you could choose your levels at VIPKid, which I really appreciate because I am just not cut out to be a preschool teacher. I never have been. I don't like teaching pre-VIPKid. It takes way too much energy for me. You couldn't pay me enough to do that. But at Gogokid, I do because the K-Babies are part of their, age group and they don't give you an option to whom you're gonna teach. So I have to teach them. And that curriculum is 2 words and 1 small sentence for the entire 25 minutes. It drives me completely crazy. So there's that. And their project classes, what are those? I hate them. But they did just announce they're getting rid of those. So that's kind of my rundown on, one final last thing. Props to the firemen at VIPKid, which is their tech team. They are amazing. For the most part, I've had a very positive experience with them over the years. They continue to improve. They speak English fairly well. They're really kind and generous, and they are helpful, and I have never had any problems with the firemen. I know people have, but I have not. And as you spend more time there, you learn how to solve more of your problems. So I don't really have to call them all that often because I know how to switch lines. I know how to refresh. I know how to fix some problems. But sometimes things do happen, and they're super helpful. Like yesterday, I had a kid who, it was a trial class. She's trying to take a trial class. She was attached to an oxygen thing. She couldn't talk. She couldn't do anything. Like, am I supposed to teach? Like, I don't know. So I did. I was basically teaching myself while she watched, and she was 3 years old. So I don't know. But anyway, but now the other side, Gogokid, they're tech people. All they do is write, okay now, question mark, and then they leave. And then they'll come back a few minutes later and say, okay now, question mark, and they'll leave. And if you type anything, they'll just respond with, okay now, question. It's so freaking annoying. Like, they're terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. They might as well not even be paying people to be a tech team at Gogokid. Anyway, this wasn't supposed to be a complaining thing about Gogokid. I didn't intend for it to be that way. Like I said, they work great for my backup company. And it's always a good idea to have a backup company because you just never know what will happen. And they do mesh really well together. The reason they mesh really well together is they're both 25-minute classes. They both offer short notice classes. And their policies are very similar. So therefore, I can pick up, okay, I don't ever have holes in my schedule, not even trying to sound like all high and mighty, but I don't. But I realize that teachers who are new do. And the reason it's a great pair to have is because you can fill in those holes with each company because they both have short notice. So they're a great pair, okay? And you can compare the incentives. The announcements come out at basically the same time. You can compare the incentives, open your schedule to get what benefits you the most. So they go together really well. Peas and carrots. I just happen to like carrots better. Get it? The orange. I'm such a dork. I'm so sleep deprived, you guys. Since I moved to Chicago, I have been working 7 days a week, every single day, with overnights all night on Fridays and Saturdays, and working at Cambly for 3 hours a day just to make ends meet, because I'm, raising 2 kids on my own, and whatever. Anyways, I'm sleep deprived, and I have been meaning to get this video out for the last week and a half, so I really need to get it done. But let's do this. It's been 17 minutes already. I'm going to have some major editing to do. Oh my gosh, I almost dumped that on myself. I had the whole backwards. Okay, so let's talk about these big announcements that happened this week. Talk about a bomb right before Christmas, right? So I guess I'll go with Gogokids first since we just finished talking about Gogokid. We get on the announcement this week. Gogokid announces that they've revamped the credit score system. New changes to benefit the teachers. They try to make it sound like it's all positive, and no one understands what's going on, and Facebook groups are blowing up. Let me break it down for you. They're cutting our pay. Period. Merry effing Christmas. No. So, specifically, I'm going to tell you how this pertains to me, and I'll try to upload. I saw a document. Someone else actually did this. I'll give them credit for it, but I will attach it to my video so you can see the breakdown for yourself. But basically, essentially, yeah, most people's pay is getting cut. So, if you have a lower base pay, though, this might actually benefit you. But if you have a $9 and above base pay, it's kind of screwing you. So what they're doing is they're changing that 120 credit score system where you had to have the 120 at the end of the month. It was based on the last day of the month. And then that was what your base pay was for the entire following month. Okay? Everybody complained about that, so they changed it. But what they did is now they're basing the credit score on a daily basis instead of a monthly basis. And now the reason that this might be good for you if your base pay is only $8 an hour is you only have to teach a low number of classes and you're going to get a higher payout, more than what you would have gotten with the 120 credit score before. So it's actually a pay increase for you. For people like me who have a $9.50 base pay, the requirement is to teach 9 classes in one day to attain the, I think it's $11.88 that I get for my base pay now. So if I don't teach 9 classes, I'm basically getting a pay cut. And I don't ever teach 9 classes at Gogokid. So on top of that, they also said that now the trial classes, converts are going to pay less, and referrals are going to pay less. Merry Christmas, Gogokid teachers. So a lot of people are leaving. They're quitting. I'm just telling you the truth here. Not trying to screw myself out of referrals, but I have always been honest, like I said, and I will continue to do so. Whether that means good or bad, I'm not in this for referrals. I just enjoy doing this. But so yeah, they cut our pay. But so for me specifically, I will revamp my schedule, whereas right now I teach on Wednesdays and 4 classes on Saturdays. They won't get my 4 classes on Saturdays anymore because I'm not going to take a pay cut to do it. So I will teach 9 classes on Wednesdays, or I'll teach 9 classes on Saturdays. But here's what I think is going to happen. I don't think that this is sustainable. I don't think it's a long-term fix, and I don't think it's going to last. And the reason I don't, and again, pure speculation, both of these this is all my opinion. Okay, so please don't I heard on YouTube. It's just my opinion. But I don't think it's going to last, and the reason that is because all of these companies have peak times, and the peak times are when most of the kids take classes. Now, they need teachers most during those peak times, but with the system they just set up, they just shot themselves in the foot because teachers like myself who do teach full-time or whatever are going to teach all in one day instead of spread out through the peak times. And then teachers the majority of the teachers do this part-time, they're brick and mortar teachers, they have real jobs, and they only teach a couple classes a day. They're probably just going to quit because they're not going to take a pay cut for a couple classes a day. The other thing is they're not going to get their peak times booked. So they're going to have to revamp it again. I don't think it's going to last. The trial converts and the referral money, yeah, that'll probably stay. Let's talk about VIPKid's big announcement. I call it a big announcement, and I use that phrase lightly because it wasn't really an announcement. It was more like, hey guys, we're introducing this new service fee for teachers. Yay! First of all, when any native English speaker sees the word fee, it's got a negative connotation already. But come to find out, as you read further, they were referring to the incentive program. They just still have yet to figure out to get native speakers to help them translate things, just like Gogokid. All these companies do that. But they're changing the incentive program. And I think the reason that they're doing that is because there were so many teachers complaining about how impossible it was to get a raise. But let's back up. First of all, the announcement though was like, dear VIPKid teachers that we value so much, we have this giant announcement we want to tell you all about. We're introducing this service fee change for teachers or whatnot, and blah 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 blah. We'll tell you more about it later. But you won't be able to opt out of it once it goes into effect. Everybody's contracts will change, and it's already going to affect new teachers who are hired on January 1st, but you can't opt in. But we're not going to tell you what it is so that you can't tell your referrals what it is. We're just going to stop this announcement right here and just let everybody be in complete chaos. So that's basically what happened. So again, pure speculation. I'm just going to continue to say that because I don't want anybody to come back and be like, you're totally wrong about all this. I very well could be totally wrong about all this. I'm not saying that I know everything. I definitely don't. But from my experience in 6 contracts at VIPKid, generally, they are trying to do things to better the company. Preface, they are having financial troubles. That's a little scary. I mean, I've seen all the articles. And the group that was hired with me, like, the same time around about, we've pretty much been screwed on everything. Because every time they've made major changes, it's affected our group more than anybody else. So, like, I was hired and being told I would get a raise every contract. And then they changed that a little while later. And then they tried to fix that change by saying, oh, here, we'll give you this amazing hoodie there's this orange hoodie that everybody wants at VIPKid that used to only be available in the Beijing office. But now, if you teach 6 contracts, you get the infamous hoodie. But then, just before I signed my contract, and everybody else who's on the same time frame as me, now we have to pay for the hoodies. Just shipping and handling, though. But in some places, that might be like $100. I mean, what's $100 for the cool hoodie? Anyway, so I'm getting off on a tangent, but my whole point is, I think it's a way that they are trying to make a raise or more money attainable for teachers who can't teach the 1,200 classes in a year or the 600 PPT classes. I'm praying to God that they don't take away my $2 incentives I get per class, that doesn't go away, that it's somehow that they're just editing so that there's more added, because it's supposedly like something will be added per contract based on a cumulative, oh my gosh, I can't talk, I'm so sleep deprived. Whatever. All the classes that you teach. It's going to be based on all of those at the end or something, but then there will also be a monthly thing. I really, really, really hope that it's not going to be less than what I'm making right now, because come on, man, I can't take 2 pay raises in one shot. That would suck, but nonetheless, I don't think it's going to be. I'm not one of those negative Nancys. I don't tend to think on the negative side of things. I like to believe the best in things. And I really think it'll probably be a positive thing, but it's happening like I'm halfway through my year to get my raise, and I am on target for this raise. It better not drop to like 25 cents versus 50 cents or like, again, I don't want to think negative, but I think it'll be good, but it's just nobody knows right now. So everybody's just like going crazy because both of the biggest companies in the game just announced huge things right before Christmas, and teachers are just like, I don't know. So anyway, that's about that. I don't know what else to say about it. That's kind of where it stands until I know anything else. I can't even help tell referrals like what it's going to entail. But to my very first referral who gets hired on January 1st, I want to know everything about what's in your contract. I want to see it, okay? Anyway, with all of this being said, I still love teaching online. I'm still going to be teaching online. This is still my main gig. Sleep deprived or not, it's actually benefited me moving to Chicago, because with the time change, now I'm on Central instead of Eastern, so I moved and it's an hour earlier, so the time changed and I lost an hour. Then the Ministry of China changed the laws and I lost another hour. But because I moved to Central time and I'm used to getting up on Eastern time and it's an hour earlier here, like, it didn't really faze me because I felt like I was getting up at the same time, if that makes any sense. So now I just get up at 2 instead of 3, and I've been working weekends way more because I don't have my husband to pick up the slack on things anymore. So I've been working my tushy off to make ends meet. But normally, it'll get better. It won't be like this forever. But I just wanted to say, like, clearly I wouldn't be working this much. I could go get a real job. I have a bachelor's just like all of you. I have a lot of experience in many different areas. But I legit love this job. I do. I smile every morning. The kids make me laugh. My kids love what I do. They know most of my students, my regulars. Like, I really, really, really love what I do. So I would still advise for all of you to do it. You just have to be like you have to be okay to go with the flow. And I'm a go with the flow kind of person. Policies and things are going to always change inevitably at these companies because it's an evolving industry. It's really new. If you look at how long it's been around, it's new. And so it's going to continue to evolve. I don't think it's going anywhere, though, because make sure I'm still recording. I don't think it's going anywhere because English is, the global language. Everyone needs to speak it. And So there's going to be a demand for it. But gosh, I don't know what. I thought it stopped recording. I'm going to have to do so much editing. This is like 30 minutes long now. So anyway, I still advise for people to do it. So I'm just throwing this out there that, I'm giving you my rundown. I'm completely honest. Things are changing. Things are evolving. We're not really sure where it's going to go or whatnot. But with all the changes at Gogokid, they should be hiring a lot. So if you're really just looking into jumping now, you'll be able to get in there real well because a lot of people are leaving. Kind of a joke, kind of not. But yeah, if you are interested in teaching online, if you want to wake up and have fun with kids every day and laugh and smile, and you're okay with, changing your sleep schedule to incorporate a nap every day or something, like I do. I mean, you got to figure it out, but it's still a great gig. So I definitely would still recommend it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here telling you all this stuff, and I wouldn't still be advising. So if you're interested, my links are always below. I have Facebook groups that aren't really built up yet, but you can ask me questions in there. You can message me directly on Facebook. You can send me an email. I will get back to you. But both companies have changed the way that the referrals are listed, so I cannot reach out to you. So you have to reach out to me if you need help. I'm more than willing to help you. I will help you through the whole process. We'll get you started. It's great extra money, even if you have a real job and you just want to add a couple hours on the weekends. It's a cool thing to do. So anyhow, I think that's about it. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about these new changes and these announcements. Where do you think this is going? What do you think is going to happen with the companies? Furthermore, what companies are you working at right now? I'm adding a third one. Dun, dun, dun. Actually, technically a fourth one because I have Cambly, but yeah. So I'm adding a third one that will hopefully replace Cambly. But more on that later. I'll do an announcement after I'm officially hired. I will upload, my videos and stuff and let you follow along and see if you're interested. But yeah, I think that about covers it in 30 minutes now on my second time doing this. I just wasted an hour of my life that I should be sleeping. But yeah, leave a comment. Make sure you like, subscribe, and Merry Christmas! Oh, look at this. It says, let's get elfed up. I bought these for my sister and my stepdaughter, a few years ago because I found them on a clearance rack for like $5 for Christmas, but I was much bigger then and it's huge on me, but I still think that it's fun. So anyway, yeah, that's about it. I don't know what else to say. Sorry for my wackiness today. I'm immensely sleep deprived lately, so Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Okay, I gotta sleep. Bye.